Welcome, everybody, to the 113th episode of the Geek Dad Report, the one show dedicated, formulated, specially created, and to bring you guys all the pop culture and nerd news that you need to know for the week that was. I, as always, am Brian West, the hostess with the mostest, and finally, once again, coming back from the dead, joining me on tonight's show is the guy with the who's flexing, beautiful man, also known as Ryan Tomlinson.
Hello, everybody. I know you guys miss me, even though it's not reflected in the comments, but I miss myself very much on the show.
Enough. I'm just kidding. I missed you. It is very lonely when you record by yourself, and I have to do way more show prep when I record by myself. Like, there's nobody there to stall and wave your hand so people look at you while I'm trying to figure something out. It's all on me, man.
And those really quick drinks that when I see the mug coming up, and so I'll just start talking, and those little pauses on their solo show, they're a little more pronounced.
I've also noticed, for some weird reason, when I take a drink on a solo show, I always do this. I always do like that. I was like, I'm doing some editing, and I'm like, oh god, I couldn't edit them all out. There's too many of them. So I apologize for everybody having to suffer through those last couple of weeks, but I did learn a lot doing it solo. It was a grand experience, and I want to thank you guys who continue to watch. And I also like to thank everybody who sent me all those lovely emails and handwritten notes that said "Fire Ryan." But Ryan's part of the show, whether you guys like it or not. He's co-creator. We work together in all things in life.
And I learned a lot, too, that when I don't get to look at Brian's face for an hour every week, it just makes me sad.
It's true.
So
that's why everybody watches the show.
Yeah. So, but, it's nice to have, to be back so I can talk about the stuff that my wife never wants to listen to. So.
Yeah, and you probably had a lot of stuff to talk about. I mean, you spent the last 2 weeks... No outlet, no me. Just moving into a house. I mean, as we can all tell, there's no pictures on your wall.
Why do we need pictures on the wall?
You're broadcasting from, I think, an iPad.
Yeah, we have. We just got internet today. I don't know if you want me to start ranting now or later.
Well, if you have a good rant, feel free. You know me, I'm always about good rants.
Well, so here's why it took 2 weeks for my fucking internet.
Oh boy!
So, I was originally going to go keep doing Verizon, and I was like, all right, they were good to me. They're going to give me 75 downloads and upload. So I was fine with that. They cut me a good deal, and then on the day to install, they covered back an hour, which I was okay. But then they did another hour and another hour. And then it was 7 o'clock at night, and I called and I said, are you fucking coming or not? And he said, yeah, but it's a 4-hour install. So I didn't want some dude there at my house until 12 o'clock at night.
Standing at the edge of your bed watching you sleep. While he's checking your internet
no
speeds.
Shit.
You have fast internet, Ryan.
So I called. I said, yeah, we'll reschedule it. And I called them the next day and said, fuck you, cancel my order and my account. And I called Comcast, who cut me a better deal and way faster internet. And I get on-demand and TV channels and shit. So I called and I set that up. And I didn't get a confirmation email. And I was like, okay, maybe they just do it like, email or something.
Nope, they fucked you.
Yeah. And so a week later... I called them the day before my thing, because I'm like, you guys haven't contacted me or done anything? And they said, oh, well, sorry, Mr. Thomas, but your order was rejected when you tried to make it online because the previous owners of the house never disconnected their Comcast service.
Oh, sons of bitches.
So, and because they said they were going to set it up at their new house, but then they canceled it, and they didn't make it very clear that they were actually canceling their account, but they canceled the order. So they had to call
wrong. You should have just bootlegged their cable for like as long as it was on.
Yeah, no shit. I could have fucking just been stealing shit.
Way to go, Ryan. You cooked the golden egg and you ate it. Way to go.
Yes. So I had to fucking call the people, cancel it. I got it set up for today. Guy came out and had it set up in like 15 minutes. And
here you are.
I have internet, and my house is like 50% done, and we're painting the kids' rooms. I blew up my back like 5 times trying to carry shit I shouldn't have been carrying all by myself, because my wife's like, "Oh, I'll help you," and I'm like, "No, I'm a big, strong man. I'm going to carry all this fucking bookcase all by myself up the stairs," and be like whimpering as I'm going up the stairs.
See, I only do that in front of strangers I'm trying to impress. Like, I'll have my wife carry books up the stairs. I don't give a shit at this point. I ain't trying to impress her. It's not like my rippling muscles don't impress her already, so what do I need to impress her further? I'm just like, tell you what, I'm gonna carry this box of stuffed animals. Here's a box of books. You take this, I'm gonna take this. And then when she looks at me funny, I'll be like, I work hard all day for a living. You want me to hurt my back and not be able to go to work tomorrow and bring home the bacon? And then she just takes it upstairs.
That's
and then
very logical. I'm going to start doing that more often. I think my wife needs to start putting in some extra muscle.
I'm telling you, man. So. The days of us being able to impress our wives are long gone, so you might as well take advantage of that. She ain't going to leave you.
Yeah, because she didn't really give a shit about me doing it either. I didn't get like a pat on the butt or,
especially since they're probably her books you're carrying up the stairs, all right? That's a lot of sex novels. I mean, hundreds, maybe even thousands of sex novels. That's like 10,000 pounds. I mean, make her carry her own sex novels up the stairs. That's what I say.
Moving sucks, but it's nice to have our own house. And soon enough, you guys will see my new setup. So,
well, I for one, Ryan, am happy that
there will be no boxes in the background. You won't see like all the fucking shit that was in my tiny ass apartment.
You know what you should bring back? Anybody who's watched our show from the beginning will know this.
God, no!
You should bring back.
I'm not gonna.
You should bring back the freaking frame that you made out of PVC pipe with the green sheet that constantly fell on you. I'm sorry. One of my favorite moments of all time recording, and if you guys are new to the show, our episodes, like our first 50, aren't even on our YouTube channel. They're on another YouTube channel that I'm going to import one of these days. But do yourself a favor, go to Watch Play Read YouTube page and watch them. They're terrible. The video is awful. The lighting is garbage. The sound is terrible. But
I was in my rapement.
Yeah, you were in your weird sex offender basement. But that was a glorious moment when right in the middle of a news story, this thing starts falling on Ryan's head and it just takes him out.
I think it didn't fall completely over me.
Yes, it did. I just started dying. That was great. So
and then it was 5 minutes of me
by our unofficial sponsor, Comcast Internet, which Ryan, I for one am very happy that you now officially have, because it's going to make our show that much better.
Yes.
And it's fast.
And I'm really glad I don't have things falling on me anymore.
Well, let's hope not. You're sitting next to a wall. If that falls on you, well, then I officially will be doing the show by myself for a long time.
Yes. But it was fun, and I'm glad to be back. We'll see if the viewers are glad I'm back. Cause,
judging from where they left their comments tonight on their questions tonight for the Faithful 50, I don't know if they are glad you're back.
And I got one of these for one of them too. So
we'll get to that later. That's what we call a tease, people. But we have a ton of news for you guys, and we're gonna get to it. We got some fun stuff tonight. And in honor of Ryan coming back, we are going to talk about why Ryan's such a weenie scaredy pants as well later on the show.
It's a very good thing to be scary of.
Whatever. No, it's not. It was. Anyway, moving on. All right. Well, without further ado, unless you got something else you want to talk about.
No, I think we should dive into that.
Dive into the news. All right, let's do this, man. We got Ninja News time, everybody. We're coming with the uppercut of knowledge. Uppercut of knowledge. The judo chop of information.
And the Cobra Kai leg sweep of learning, Brian.
And the awkward pause of
Well,
of distance.
Give me a week to get refocused. I gotta get back into. We gotta reconnect our channel.
I've been carrying the show now for the last 7 months, and now you're gonna bring this shit. This is the game you bring to the table.
We gotta we gotta reconnect our auras and pull. I don't know. I can't fucking do that Juju shit.
Whatever, Andy
Star
Dalton
Wars
with your 5
happened.
interceptions. Time to move on. All right, so
Star
first
Wars
up,
stuff.
a little bit of sad news, as we always lead with on the show. Unfortunately, we have to. We had another passing this week. Lin Win, I think it's Win or Wine. I'm not sure you say his last name, but he's the creator of Wolverine and Swamp Thing. Has passed away at the age of 69. 69 is not that old, unfortunately. I'm not sure what he died from, but he was a leader, probably not recognized nearly as much as he should have been for his creations. If you don't know, you know who Wolverine is. This guy right here. This is what he made. This is the creation. We're talking old school yellow Wolverine when he fought the Hulk. That guy. Boom. Yes. But
I kind of think Swamp Thing was pretty rad, though.
Yeah, Swamp Thing's another great character that people a lot of times don't realize. You know, the movies came out. I don't think a lot of people even realize that it was started out as a comic book. I mean, I'm sure people who read comics know, but I think the mainstream people in the world, fuck, I can figure out the word. The mainstream people, the normies, the freaking muggles.
The normies. The fucking muggles.
The muggles, they probably don't know that Swamp Thing is a killer comic book and has been around for a long time. But anyway, like I said, Lin created those two iconic characters, and, he will be missed. So as we always say on this show, may the Force be with you, and good journeys, buddy. Thank you.
Sorry to see you
If
go.
nothing else, thank
you
you
for the
this.
comics.
Thank you.
Thank you for eventually getting us to Logan.
Bub. Don't even talk. We're not talking. We're not disgracing his memory by talking about Fox movies.
Yes.
All right, moving on to better news. Guess what kind of news,
Ryan?
Ryan?
Talk about how some awesome Star Wars stuff that happened. That'll feel better.
I loaned my lightsabers to this really cool guy I know who made a super awesome video. I don't think I've ever showed you. He did a pretty sweet photo shoot as Kylo Ren and a Jedi video, and he used my official props on it. So
I should send them a real lightsaber.
Well, those are
they
expensive.
Really,
those are kind of expensive too. But I finally got them back, so we're using them on the show. But Star Wars news. First up, last week I reported me, personally, on my solo show, Ryan. I don't know if you caught it, because you weren't here.
I did. I listened to it.
I reported that Colin Trevorrow was fired off of episode 9, and I speculated on a few people who could take his place. Well, guess what, everybody? I am Nostradamus, because I correctly predicted that J.J. Abrams would be taking over for Colin Trevorrow, and sure enough, he did. Boom! I need nothing but
it's like
net.
Disney. They were like Kathleen Kennedy was like, you know what? This Geek Dad Report guy is right. I should do that.
Well,
and then she sent a giant check to me that I forgot to tell you about.
Well, Kathleen, you can send the money to Ryan. All I ask is a very small little thing. I would like to be one of the main characters cast in episode 9. That's all I'm asking. You don't even have to bring Ryan. He can be a stormtrooper.
This is a small token.
Small token of your, not affection, of your gratefulness. I can't with the words tonight. Whatever. Anyway.
Stop.
So J.J. Abrams will be coming on board to direct episode 9. He's also going to be writing the story script along with Chris Terrero. A lot of people are not very happy about that because he wrote the Justice League, and he's going to be writing Justice League 2 movies. But he also wrote the Batman v Superman movie. So a lot of people were like, "Oh no, it's going to suck." Well, first of all, Zack Snyder wrote the story for those movies, and a lot of times what they'll do is when, like J.J. Abrams, he never writes anything all by himself. Usually he'll come up with a story, he'll bring in a script writer to write the script that they kind of work together. So my guess is Chris is being brought in to write J.J. Abrams' story, right?
Yeah, J.J. Abrams is and then I wanted to do this. And so he's got to write all the dialogue for that to happen.
Yeah.
So J.J. Abrams comes up with the general idea, and then this guy is just there to fine-tune it for him.
So if you're one of the people freaking out, I would say you're entitled to your opinion, but I would calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
I do not think this is going to be I don't think we're going to get Justice League episode 9. We're going to get Star Wars.
J.J. didn't write The Force Awakens.
Yeah, he came up with the story, and he wrote it with like 3 other people, and they came up with the script.
Yeah. So.
But right now, I don't know. What do you think? I don't think I've actually asked you. There's a lot of people who, I think Star Wars fans are kind of split right down the middle on this one. There's a lot like myself who I think this is the right move, and I'll go into that in a minute. And then there's a lot of people who feel this is a waste of a director. They'd like somebody else. They like a visionary. They like. They like somebody who just didn't copy A New Hope and turn it into Force Awakens, which I think is kind of a bogus claim. But what do you think about it?
I've seen a lot of people saying that, well, they needed a woman's idea, and they needed a person of color. They needed this. The director needs to be a lot of things, but I think with it proven how well The Force Awakens was, it was probably easier for them on short notice to dip back into somebody that had just done it, and that they knew the people, they knew who to talk to, they knew they've already established a very well regarded working relationship, to my understanding. So why would you not go back to when your plan A fails, your plan B's got to be just as good. So if they go with the whole nother person and it turns out to be the same thing, then you're gonna be setting yourself back even further. Yeah. So they don't want to, they took a chance. The chance was over. They need to go with something more solid and something that they was less of a risk, because there's a lot of money that's going into this. So, in order to hedge their risk, J.J. Abrams. I think
here's the deal. When it comes to Star Wars, is that I've also heard Kathleen Kennedy has no idea what she's doing. That's another thing. Oh, she's hiring as director and then firing. No, listen. Here's the deal. Kathleen Kennedy, first of all, is a genius. She's one of the most successful producers of all time. If you have a favorite movie from your childhood, chances are she produced it. The woman knows what she's doing. And I think what we've seen is Star Wars is a cookie cutter machine that they are saying, listen, this is our movie. This is what we want you to do. You can color whatever picture you want to using these 4 colors that we're going to give you, but that's it. And so unfortunately, they've tried to bring in some directors who think a little bit differently. But unfortunately for them, those directors who think a little bit differently are trying to take control of these projects and make them their projects. When you come on board with Star Wars, you're making a Star Wars movie. You're making their Star Wars movie with your flair. You don't get to make your own movie. That's why Lord and Miller were fired. Apparently Colin Trevorrow, that's why he was let go. He butted heads with Kathleen Kennedy. He was very difficult. Well, allegedly he was very difficult to work with on the set. He was very stubborn. He wanted elements from his script to get in that Disney was not, or Kathleen Kennedy, Lucasfilm was not approving. And ultimately, that's why he was let go. And I think with all the turmoil they've had with the Han Solo movie, with finding this director, I mean, we didn't hear any of that with Rian Johnson. From all accounts, Rian Johnson, director of Episode 8, has played magically with the cast, with the producers, worked within what they gave him, and gave him his own kind of unique spin on the story that they gave him. In fact, the rumor is they actually offered him the movie before they went back to J.J. Abrams, and he turned it down because he said he wanted to be a fan and didn't want to make another one. He wanted to be able to be surprised. And I think this is a smart move for Lucasfilms, because J.J. proved that he could make a successful Star Wars movie. I know the criticisms are there, that it mirrors the original trilogy too much. I don't agree with those, because I think that was the only way he could make this work. He had 40 years of legacy that he had to reboot, and he had to wipe the taste of the prequels out of everybody's mouth. Even if you did like them, they were not near. We can all admit they're not nearly as magical or good as the original trilogy. He had to get everybody back on board, and not just that, but show that a new Star Wars movie for a new generation could be just as fun. And I thought he knocked it out of the ballpark, man. Force Awakens was a magical, amazing movie, and I, for one, am really excited they brought him back. He's proven that he can work with the script and the story that Disney wants. He's proven he can deliver on time. He's proven that he can, deliver the goods and make a huge blockbuster movie. And I think they needed somebody who I think they've learned their lesson on this. I don't think they're going to be reaching out to these visionaries anymore. I think they're going to be reaching out to the Ron Howards, to maybe the Steven Spielbergs, to the tried and true people who they know can do this.
Well, and don't forget, he's already worked with the cast before. He's already built a relationship with the cast. So it's not like he has to go in there and try and reestablish anything. He's already established all those connections.
Well, and I think, too, there was a little bit of longing for him. I remember hearing, after he did the first one, that he only agreed to it. He didn't want to agree to it, but he did it because he wanted to, he felt the weight of the legacy, and he wanted to do it right. And he didn't, he just wanted to get it back on track and then sit back and watch. But then he said after he read the script for episode 8, he actually kind of wished he would have stayed on board and directed the next one. So I think for him, too, this is a chance to come back. There's been a lot of criticism of Into the Darkness that he messed up Star Trek, and I think there's a lot for him that he wants to prove, like, hey, listen, I can do this right. I can finish out a story and make it awesome.
Yeah, because he gets to start it and he gets to end it. Yeah.
So anyway, I'm really excited. That being said, because he is coming on board and they're starting all over again, Episode 9 has been pushed back from its May 24th release of 2019 to December 20th of 2019, which I actually am okay with. I kind of like Star Wars movies being around Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It makes the season that much better.
Well, and
it's going to be a fucking crazy-ass Christmas that year, though.
So it's swap place with Aladdin. Yeah, it's going to be real crazy because it's swap place with Aladdin. The live-action Aladdin will now take its place the original Star Wars date of May 24th. And it's coming out a week after Wonder Woman 2, which I actually think Warner Brothers is going to push Wonder Woman either forward or back. I think Wonder Woman is going to be amazing, but nobody wants to go up against Episode 9. You just don't. I mean, there's... Yeah. So that movie, so the good news for us is we'll probably be getting Wonder Woman 2 earlier than predicted. And real quick before we change topics, to on your, I know what you said earlier about a lot of people wanted a woman or a person of color director to get a crack at Star Wars. I do want those things as well. If Patty Jenkins, I mentioned last week, she was one of my top picks to direct a Star Wars movie. If I would have heard that Patty Jenkins is doing the Star Wars movie, I would be ecstatic. But I think they're going to I think all these new directors, finding other talented directors, I don't think they're going to get them on the episodes. I think they're going to get them on the Han Solos, the Obi-Wan Kenobi films, the Boba Fett films. I think that's what we're going to see. Yeah. So, people don't stop asking for these things, but I also think you're going to have to take this with Disney. The Star Wars episodes is this is their Avengers for Star Wars. And they are going to take proven directors doing this. Not that there aren't any women proven directors or people of color directors, but that are proven, that have good records. But they're going to stick with who they know. When I say proven, like they're going to stick with their Ron Howards, with their J.J. Abrams, with their Rian Johnson. So keep asking for it; it will happen. But I wouldn't let that fact alone make you disappointed that J.J.'s back on board for Star Wars. So just a little. Yeah.
I think, like you said, all those creative directors, you'll see them on the solo one-outs, and you're probably going to see a lot more established directors from now on the main trilogies.
Yeah, well, I mean, and who knows? I mean, maybe when we start, when we move on from the episodes, maybe we do get an Old Republic. I think maybe when there's a story there that's not so embedded, like we already have with the Skywalkers, and maybe when there's a story that hasn't been written yet that people can tell their own story, you may be able to bring in, your Ryan Cooglers or Patty Jenkins or these really good directors who maybe have a different view, or even your, Colin Trevorrow types who want to tell their own story. And I think there's room in the Star Wars universe for that, but unfortunately, it is not going to be in Episode 9. So
yes.
All right. Speaking of Patty Jenkins, she got paid, y'all. She got paid a lot. Thank God.
Did she get the big bucks?
I don't know why it took this long for Warner Brothers to get her contract redone, but Patty Jenkins is officially signed back on to do Wonder Woman 2. They paid her $8 million for the sequel, which would make her the highest paid female director of all time. So, congratulations. Way to set the bar high. And it's long overdue. And hopefully this will open the door for more female directors to get some of these big projects, because like we've said, Wonder Woman was amazing. It's one of my favorite superhero movies.
What is the normal paycheck for a director? Do you know?
I have no idea, but $8 million sounds like a lot of money, so I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's a shitload.
I feel like it's $8 million's probably not as much as men directors get. That just seems to be kind of the norm. My guess is James Cameron type is probably getting $15 million. Spielberg's probably getting $15 million.
Spielberg gets like the whole thing because
now
Spielberg.
That $8 million, I believe, is just the upfront. She probably gonna get some residuals and some percentages.
Oh
of
yeah,
box office
like
and
if
stuff.
she can match, what Wonder Woman 1 did, she'll probably get another $10 million or something.
But I mean, I think this is an important. Anybody who wants to see more diversity and more equality in directors and in Hollywood, I mean, I think this is a big step. You finally have a female director who did something really amazing, who's getting rewarded for it and getting her rightful due for it. They could have easily just said, you know what, nice job, Patty. Way to make Wonder Woman awesome. We're gonna hire this no-name white dude over here who'd do it for $1 million. We'll see you later. So it is good to see Warner Brothers are taking care of their own. She deserved it. The movie's amazing, and the whole idea that a woman can't direct a comic book movie should officially be
obliterated.
Yeah, that stereotype should be just thrown up in the air and hit with the lasso of truth, because that ain't true, y'all. And Patty Jenkins just broke that glass ceiling.
Take that, Hillary.
Yeah, Hillary. God. Don't get me started on Hillary. On her interview, and this is only because it's geek related, she just did an interview with somebody, I don't know who, but she said that she felt like Cersei. I'm like, don't ever compare yourself to Cersei.
What?
Hillary, you
No
clearly
way.
do not watch Game of Thrones.
Oh my God. If anything,
All right, moving
on.
Moving on. All right, we got a couple other stories we want to spend some time on, so I'm gonna blow through these real quick. We've already spent our first 20 minutes talking about Star Wars. So if you got something you want to add to this, Ryan, feel free to hop in. If not, we're just gonna blow right through them. Director Chris McKay, who's doing the Nightwing movie, came out this week and said he promises that it will be a fucking badass visceral experience, and that is a direct quote.
Yeah.
So he's coming out of the gates firing, saying my Nightwing movie is going to be badass. It's like, I feel like he's preempting striking all the critics, right? He's just like, people are like, this Nightwing movie's going to suck. He's just like, he's not even waiting for the bad reviews. He's coming out and be like, my movie's going to be fucking awesome, and I'll punch anybody in the face who says differently, right? People are like, whoa.
You're going to get so much Dick Grayson butt, you're not even going to know what to do with it.
Yeah, there's going to be, hashtag Dick Grayson butt right there on the bottom. Let's see here. George R. Martin, speaking of butts, George R. Martin has got a new series coming out on Sci-Fi Channel called Night Flyers. If you don't know what Night Flyers is, you're right along with me and Ryan. I actually had to look it up. So I'm going to read you guys the synopsis of Night Flyers.
The Night Flyers is obviously a book about the Night King flying around on a dragon. Well, great.
I was going to read the synopsis, but you just covered it. So Night Flyers, here you go. It is a 1980 novel. It's set in the future on the eve of Earth's destruction, and it follows a crew of explorers who journey on the most advanced ship in the galaxy, the Night Flyer, to intercept a mysterious alien spacecraft that might hold the key to their survival. As the crew nears their destination, however, they find that the ship's artificial intelligence and never-seen captain may be steering them into a deadly and unspeakable horror deep in the reaches of dark space.
So, Game of Thrones in space.
So think of, Game of Thrones. A lot of people are going to die. Space zombies. Pretty sure it's going to be space zombies.
Someone's going to start banging their sister.
The captain will die and be resurrected. There are giant wolves on the ship that you will only see once a season.
Yeah. And then someone will jump out a window.
Yeah. While banging their sister. All right,
great series, sci-fi.
Speaking of Game of Thrones, Ryan, since we were speaking of Game of Thrones, apparently they are shooting multiple endings for Season 8 because they don't want people spoiling that shit.
Oh, I'm not surprised at all. This is probably the only way they could do this. They have to film 5 different endings and just do everything they can to try and throw people off the scent of what exactly it's going to be.
Yeah.
Because there's just so many people that, like, with a fucking drone, like, oh, look, here's Jon Snow.
So,
and
you know what I'd like to see?
With the army.
I would like to see Game of Thrones shoot a perfect, like, happy ending where, like, Jon and Daenerys get married and Arya, everyone's super happy, and then accidentally release that shit on the internet.
Yeah. they're going to put
come
that,
out saying that they've been hacked and it's been released, so everyone thinks it's real. That would be amazing.
I really hope they put all the extra endings onto some kind of bonus material for the final season.
That would be pretty cool.
Like the Blu-ray DVD box set, just like all the alternate endings.
Well, they haven't said how many endings they're going to shoot. I hope they just go for the ceiling and shoot for like 100 different endings. Like they do a Scooby-Doo ending, and then they do like they pull the Night King's face off, and it's actually like Ned Stark.
Yeah, it's been Ned Stark the whole time. I'm a mass. And he says Valor Dolores, and he's been working for the.
It would be. Oh, he's one of the faceless men.
Yeah, he's been the faceless man. He's the god of the faceless men.
They do the Euro Trip ending where everyone's happy and wasted, and somebody goes up to Jamie and like, dude, you had sex with your sister, and then he runs off and then he punches him with his gold hand. It'd be great. Yeah, that's what we hope for. But but you know what? We're going to talk all about Season 8 next week in our final. I know it's a little late, but Ryan has an internet. But next week we are going to be bringing you guys our Game of Thrones Season 7 recap and kind of Season 8 prediction show that we've been teasing for a while. I was going to do it by myself, but I figured that wouldn't be fun, so I waited for Ryan. So we'll have that next week. So it's a little bit late, but you know what? We got like a year and a half for more Game of Thrones, so just watch our show.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of time to make you guys.
And we'll talk about, you know what? We will come up with more, now I think about it, on that show we promise, me and Ryan will think very hard and come up with a few more fun endings that we'd like to see them shoot.
Yes.
Maybe like a Terminator one with Jamie with his gold hand as he's being lowered into dragon lava.
The Night King just marrying Dany, and he's got a big smile on his face.
Or how about the Night King is actually just, he has a magical hat and a carrot nose, and he's just looking for a wife? All right, moving on. That's what you look forward to next week, everybody. So check out, if that doesn't get you excited for our Game of Thrones finale, I don't know what it will.
Yeah.
Nothing, apparently.
Not a lot.
It's too hard to please. Speaking of people that are too hard to please, Apple just released some awesome new products this week, and half the world thought they were great, and the other half, well, they were wrong. So
the other half are Samsung users.
We're going to talk about it. Yeah, I know. You know what? I have one thing to say to all you. Everyone doesn't have to be an iPhone lover. That's totally cool. But for anybody who says Samsung or Android already came out with that technology, well, I'm going to say this. Yeah, you're right. But Apple is actually going to make it work. Oh.
You tell them, Brian.
It's little dust people. Woo! Anyway, so yeah, Apple had a little event this week where they announced a few new product lines. First up was their iWatch 3, I think it was. The big feature of this one, it's got a dual-core processor, and it can now receive phone calls if you decide you want to pay for a cell phone plan for your watch.
Yeah.
You can talk to
and
them.
I do want to say on the watch that if you look on the promotional materials, it says Kathy Chen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually someone who's on my son's soccer team. She's one of the moms, and she's like Apple did not ask for my permission to use my name like on the iPad. She was like, "Well, I guess I got to get a new Apple Watch because it's got my freaking name on it already."
You know what? Apple doesn't have to ask anybody's permission because they own like the world, and their stock is worth like $9 billion a share. So hey, whatever.
I should have bought it in the mid-90s when it was $5.
Yeah, well, if we ever invent a time machine, everyone would be like, where would you do? Would you go back and see Michelangelo? Would you go back? Hell no, I'd go back to the 90s and buy 10,000 shares of Apple. And me and Ryan would be doing this podcast from the freaking Bahamas on our own personal island.
We'd be doing it from the moon. Our own space
yeah,
moon
we would have that.
colony.
We would have that much money, wouldn't we? So anyway, yeah, the iWatch. You can talk to people now. The one thing that's cool about that, because it does have a data plan, you can now get your Apple Music on your phone, so you can stream over 4 million songs while you're running or doing whatever, because you're always connected to the internet, which is kind of cool. But it's going to be like $400, and you'll have to pay for a data plan. Don't know how much that is. So hey, once again, Apple is for people who want to spend lots of money on extra data plans. But it's pretty
Chris.
Yay. I wouldn't mind getting an Apple Watch, but I just like, you know what? I could just get a wristband and strap my phone like this to my wrist, and I would have all the same features.
I have a big phone.
I mean, technically, if you really wanted to, Apple, look. Oh, shit, I lost my phone here. Just give me like a wristband like this, and I can make my own like super big.
Yeah,
watch.
I would totally do it for my wrist.
I mean, love that Apple managed to take an iPhone, make it less powerful, put a wristband on it, and sell it to you for the same price.
So basically, we want Apple to make a Nintendo Power Glove, but an iPhone.
But you can just shove your iPhone into it.
Yeah, and so then if you like flex and do stuff, you can like.
Now I will say this: if Apple comes out with a power gauntlet, if they come out with a power gauntlet where you can take your iPhone, stick it here, you can stick like an iWatch and tablet and everything in here, and it forms like a super powered glove that you can like take a moon and throw it to Earth on, I'd get that.
Yeah.
Where'd it go?
Totally. That'll cost you the low price of $20 billion.
Well, we'll have that money because we bought 100,000 Apple shares. Look,
the
new Power Gauntlet brought to you by Apple. They just released this product. If you own this, you can rule the universe.
So your phone's in the middle.
Right here.
And then this is your watch.
This is an iPod Nano. This is a Nano. This is an iWatch.
Yeah. There's the new one that's going to be the iPenis thing that you kind of put like a ring that goes around your penis.
This is the other product they just released yesterday. The Apple TV. It's a 4K streaming device. That one's right there.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, that was the new product they released. I don't know, whatever. I'm not a big, huge. I don't watch most of my media on iTunes, and I use my Xbox to stream everything, so I don't have Apple TV, but it looked pretty cool. Streams in 4K, yada, 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 whatever. Mm-hmm. What everybody really was waiting for is the new iPhones that came out, and Apple did not disappoint. They came out with two new iPhones. The first up was the iPhone 8. They skipped the 7S this year and went right to the 8 and the 8 Plus. Basically, think iPhone 7, but just the next model. It's waterproof once again. It has a better camera. It has the A10 or the A10X processor. It's like a quad or a 6-core processor. Yeah, whatever. It's really powerful. It's got the Retina screen, the Touch ID. It's got glass on front to back because now it can do the cordless charging where you can just sit it on a pad and it charges. It's going to come out. They got rid of the 128 gig model, and now you have to either get a 64 gig or a 256 gig. It's going to start out at $699 or $850 for the 250 gig model. And basically, it's what they normally do. They just do slight upgrades and sell you a new phone. But that being said, because it is the 10th anniversary of the iPhone, they did release the new super awesome iPhone X. It's basically going to be the same size as my 6S, except for, wait for it, see this black part right here? This is all going to be screen. It's going to be screened from here to here. It's a 5.8-inch super Retina screen that is like super, because it says super in the title, so it's going to be super.
But it's not going to be how we did it with SOOPER. It's going to be actual SU. They can afford to pay for the whole thing.
For the U. I wonder if they're paying for the nipples, too.
Yeah.
They definitely, they have like a box of Apple nipples. But yeah, so I mean, the big thing here, it actually has the same memory and processing that the 8 has. It's also waterproof, has the glass front to back. You can charge on the thing. But the big upgrade here is the facial technology. So they get rid of the fingerprint reader and the home button. And now because the screen goes from top to bottom, the way to unlock your phone is facial recognition, where it works at night. It works in the rain. It works if you grow a beard. It works if you're wearing a hat. But basically, you have to actively be looking at your iPhone. So like if you hold it up like this, it won't turn on. If you hold it up like this, it won't turn on. But if you look directly at it and actively move your face, it will recognize it and open up. And that is going to be how they use all their use like their Apple Pay, use all their features like that, which is pretty cool. The other thing that it does, which is probably what most people are going to use it for, is you can turn your face into an emoji. You have an emoji thing where you look into it and your emoji talks and you can send that. So it's like a Snapchat filter, but it actually uses your facial features to do that.
And this is going to be $1,000 phone.
It starts at $1,000 for the 64 gig version, which is not going to be nearly enough because one of the other big upgrade that I didn't mention, I'll mention really fast, is that they're using dual 12 megapixel camera lenses to layer pictures. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a photographer by any means, but I do like to take some nice shots. The camera on this is insane, and the things you can do with it is nuts. The night shooting mode is unbelievable. When you look at this, I'm telling you, you're gonna be like, wow, I cannot believe that was taken with the phone. Absolutely stunning. But each picture is going to take up a ton of memory. So a 64 gig one is not going to cut it. You are going to have to get so much iCloud storage. It's going to be ridiculous. Or you're going to have to spring $1,149 for the 256 gig model.
Now, here's the thing about the X, though. It's going to be a fairly exclusive phone, which means it's not going to have a giant mass production like all the iPhone 8. Because they are trying to use this as a way of testing out new apps and features and stuff like that. So while it's going to be their best phone and it's going to be the most expensive, not everyone is going to be able to get one because they are using it and they're using it as a test market. Because this is kind of how they want to. I mean, obviously, they want to roll out the next set of phones exactly like this.
Testing to see if people will spend $1,000 on a phone. I'm going to buy one.
Yeah.
We'll have a review on the Geek Dad Report.
Well, and they want to see what kind of products developers will end up making. So
yeah, well, it officially goes on pre-order. If you want it, it's going to be October 27th with delivery November 3rd. If you want the iPhone 8... It is, well, when this is up, it'll officially be, you can pre-order it on all the major carriers, and you can get it, I believe it starts shipping on Monday. So, let us know if you guys get the iPhone 8. I'd love to hear about it. I haven't decided yet if I want to get the 8 or the X. I really would like to get the X, but it's so expensive. I don't know. We'll see. All right, moving on. All right, we'll go back to fast news. Hellboy. We got our first look at David Harbour as the new Hellboy. Looked pretty good. Looks a lot like Ron Perlman's, but a little, I don't know, Ron Perlman's
bigger in the neck.
Yeah, it looks more realistic, I guess. Like this Hellboy is way more ripped, and the makeup and stuff doesn't look. Ron Perlman's Hellboy looked good, but you could always tell it was a guy in makeup. This looks less like a guy in makeup and more like a big giant
fucking giant demon dude.
Yeah, it looks. The movie's gonna be bloody and rated R, and this Hellboy looks like a bloody rated R Hellboy. So I wouldn't say it looks better. It looks different, but you can definitely tell the different styles with these movies. So we have the picture on our Facebook. Check it out. Let us know what you think. Something that I know me and Ryan are both really excited about is Die Hard is releasing a kids' Christmas book. It's going to be called Die Hard Christmas, a very Die Hard Christmas, the illustrated edition. Basically, they illustrate and PG, I don't know, and unfilthy eyes Die Hard into a kid's book. It's going to be released October 17th for $17 on Amazon.
Yeah, and everybody needs a new Christmas tradition. And this will be mine. Reading Die Hard.
Oh, I'm definitely buying this book. It's going to be a great book. And I actually think this would be if you guys want a killer white elephant present, this would probably be one for all your Christmas parties coming up. I think everybody would love to have that. So
yeah,
this is
it's going to kill.
I feel like this book is going to sell out very fast. The Greatest American Hero is getting rebooted. So if you don't know what that is, it's a show from the early 80s. It was about the Greatest American Hero.
I don't know anything about it.
I think he got his powers from his suit, if I remember right. But it's a really bad show. ABC's rebooting it because they've rebooting everything. But this time they're doing it with a twist. They're doing it with a female of color. An Indian American lady is going to be the new... whatever, I don't care. And it's not because it's a female doing it. If it was Chris Pratt, I might watch it because I'd be like, Chris Pratt signed on to do a TV show?
What's he doing?
I don't know.
He's not doing anything lately. He's not doing Anna Faris, that's for sure.
Oh man, too soon. What a dick. You're a dick. We love Chris Pratt and Anna Faris. You're a jerk. You're going to the timeout booth. All right. But you did give me my recommendation for the week. I was trying to find one. All right, Vikings has already been renewed for season 6. Season 5 starts like in a month.
Yeah, and the History Channel has aliens built the ancient Egypt show. I mean,
yeah, and Vikings, which was the only thing we watched. So we'll be watching that. Deadpool director Tim Miller has his next gig. He's officially set to direct Terminator 6. So it's been long rumored that James Cameron wanted him to direct it, and apparently the deal has been inked. So he will be directing Terminator 6, and I am now much more interested in that movie. So we'll see what he does. No word on the story or if Arnold's going to reprise, but that's where we're at. Let's see. Also returning. That's kind of a stretch, but sure. Also returning. Apparently Lance Hunter, played by Nick Blood, is coming back to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So any of you guys who do not remember who Lance Hunter is, he's the British guy who's pretty awesome, who's kind of on again, off again. Yeah, I know. I see Chris. Sorry, Chris. We're almost at the end. You don't get to come on the show. You should have told us sooner. It would derail it, and this episode would go way longer than we originally intended.
Bring me in, coach. I'm ready to play.
Yeah.
Today.
And we haven't tested it, Chris. I know you're going to watch this later. I haven't tested to see what would happen with this program that I'm using. If we brought you in, it might just melt down and my computer could explode. But next time, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, our good friend of the show, Chris, Evil Chris from Utah, got off a little early, and he's like, I'll hop on the show. But because he didn't tell us it was going to happen, and we haven't had time to test it, this is a professional show. It's not going to happen.
We just can't. We don't have magic. How are we going to add him in?
Yeah, I don't know.
Right now.
Me and Ryan are in the same room together. Anyway, moving on. Lance, yeah. So anyway, Lance was married on again, off again to... Damn it, Chris, quit texting. Was married to Bobby Morse, also known as Mockingbird. No word if she's going to return. But he's coming back for season 6. No word on the story, how long, or if he's going to be a regular. But he was one of the better parts of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. before him and Bobby. Flipping my phone over so I quit reading Chris's text.
Bobby.
Him and Bobby left to do their own spin-off show that never happened. So hopefully this means they both can come back on the show. And since that whole segment got derailed, we'll just move on. Last Week Tonight has been renewed for 3 more seasons. Good news.
Why not?
Yeah.
We need more.
Show.
Forever.
John Oliver is my hero.
He
is.
Let's
see. John Wick 3.
I have to say, I got my wife to start watching it, and now she watches it every week.
Oh, Last Week Tonight?
Yeah.
And now this. John Wick 3 is coming out May 17th, 2019. No news other than it's John Wick 3, so we're really excited. Which is like a week before Avengers. Which, if any movie can get its money against Avengers, it's probably with John Wick, because everybody loves John Wick.
How can you not like John Wick? I mean, it's
if you're a Russian
about
mafia
that.
Man, that's why.
It's like the best catch you by surprise franchise.
Yeah, it's great.
You know? Nobody thought it was going to be like this.
No, I remember you made me go see it when we were still doing reviews for Watch Play Read. You're like, go see this movie. I'm like, all right, I'll go. And then I remember texting you after it's over. I'm like, oh my god, this movie's going to make $100 million. It's amazing.
Yeah. So we look forward to John Wick 3.
Well, yeah, we're excited for
More
it.
puppies.
Something I'm not sure if I'm excited for. I know Ryan's not excited for it. Is Stephen King's book Suffer the Little Children is getting made into a movie.
Yes, apparently it's about some school teacher in a small town, and the kids got like, they're all fucking weird and shit.
So I got a question. I got a question for you, real quick. If you could remake, say, 5 movies, remake or get books made into movies, what Stephen King books would you like to see? Because with the success of It, which we're gonna talk about here in a second, I'm guessing a lot of Stephen King properties are going to get redone or done in the for the first time.
I'm gonna say one will be Misery, the one about the lady that didn't like how the author ended the book, so she got the one with Dean Cain.
That was done pretty recent, and it was really the acting was amazing. It had James Caan and Kathy Bates, and they crushed it in that movie.
Yeah. Carrie probably.
Yeah, that would be a good reboot. Crazy Car.
I think you could even put a modern twist on that if you wanted to.
You have Michael Bay director, and it's a Transformer.
Yes.
This is the idea show, people. That's what we do.
Do you have any?
Yeah, I would love to see. Salem's Lot redone. I think that is such a great vampire story. I think they could do a really good job of retelling that. I think that would be a really good story. The Dead Zone that they originally did with Christopher Walken, I think could make for a great movie. I would love to see a remake of Firestarter. Firestarter, when I was a kid, was one of my favorite movies. And
that was how I got my first crush on Drew Barrymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you watch Stranger Things, I mean, it is in a lot of ways, it's a remake of Firestarter. And I would love to see that. Keep it in the 80s, bring it in, and just give us something new. I froze. You're supposed to say Stormtrooper.
Stormtrooper. There is one movie that they can never redo, and that is The Green Mile. They are not allowed to touch that one. So
there's two movies: The Green Mile and Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about Shawshank.
You know, Pet Sematary. I wouldn't mind seeing a new Pet Sematary or Cujo. I think a new Cujo would be cool.
I don't think I remember Cujo. That's one about the fucking. Is that like the Godzilla type one?
No, Cujo's the one with Saint Bernard catches rabies and eats everybody.
Oh.
Needful Things is pretty cool when the devil comes to town and tricks the whole town. What else? They already did. Oh god, I lost it. Oh, I was just thinking about it and I totally forgot it. Whatever. But any of the ones from the 80s, like I said, Dead Zone and Salem's Lot and Firestarter would be my big three that I would love to see them redo, along with Christine probably. So, all right, if you guys have a Stephen King story, put your goddamn phone down, Ryan.
That was a good one.
If you guys have a Stephen King story that you'd like to see remade into a movie, we'd love to hear it. It's probably one that we missed that everyone's probably screaming at the screen. Come on, why'd you do that one? Sorry. If it's The Green Mile, Ryan's going to show up your house and punch you because he says that nobody should remake The Green Mile. All right, lastly, the last little bit of news we got for you guys is It. It crushed this last weekend. Ryan's favorite movie that he cannot wait to go see about the crazy clown. Hey, Ryan, if you do the show with me, you'll float too. You'll float too.
No.
I almost sent a clown to your house. I was going to pay money to
If you sent the clown to my house, I would not only punch the clown in the face, I would find a way to punch you in the face.
It'd be great. I was going to send a clown, and then I was going to send flowers with a whole bunch of red balloons. It was going to be amazing. Side note, some girl in like Texas, I think it was Texas, her and her friend, they're 17, they tied red balloons on every storm crate throughout the entire town. And apparently the people freaked out so much they called the cops and she got arrested and then they released her when they realized she didn't do anything wrong. Come on, people. Quit being wusses.
That's a good prank.
That is a great prank. She should not be arrested. She should be commended. Amazing prank. But seriously, it's a movie. I have seen a lot of red balloons floating around my town, just floating around doing nothing. People are dicks. But it made $127 million last weekend, which is the highest grossing ever of a horror movie. And this weekend it's set to have the second highest grossing weekend for a horror movie. Like, it's supposed to be over $50 or $60 million for the second weekend.
What does that say about the state of our country? That the biggest movie is some scary horror movie about a clown.
Here's the thing, though. I don't think it's because it's a scary horror movie. I think it's for the same reason Stranger Things was big, because I think it taps into a nostalgia. This movie is set in the 80s, not in the 50s. It's an old property that we all grew up with the scary clown. So it's got that mix of humor, horror, and like nostalgia that is just the perfect mix. Like I said, I think it is the same reason Stranger Things was the biggest show of last year. Was that because this is what people love, and it's a perfect blend of those three things of nostalgia, horror, and comedy, and boom, there you go. I'm going to see it this weekend. Me and the wife are going for our anniversary, so it should be a hot anniversary date. But
oh yeah,
I got a hot date plan. We're gonna go see it, and then we're staying at a hotel, motel, Holiday Inn, and then we're going to the Seahawks game. Oh yeah, there's gonna be a lot of that going on. Booyah! And then I got tickets to the Seahawks game, so it's going to be a fun weekend. 12 years, anybody's asking. Been married 12 years.
You know what I'm not going to see this weekend? Is It.
Oh, I've already paid your wife good money to take you to go see that movie.
I saw someone said that they heard someone calling it the IT movie. Mm-hmm. And so now I kind of want to see, like, instead of Pennywise, just maybe like the IT guy. That's just down in the sewer. I would see that one.
Oh my god, whatever. You know what? Is there Is there anything? You're the worst. You know what? What else? Besides clowns, Ryan, you scaredy pants, in honor of you being such a wuss, is there anything else? What else from your childhood are you terrified of now? So if anybody from the Faithful 50 would like to send you a clown with balloons, what else could they send you that would make you pee your little
I'm scared of
pants?
Cheetos Puffs.
Cheetos Puffs.
No, I'm trying to think of it. Like, I don't remember like any movie that really freaked me out as a kid.
I remember.
But I remember in college, my cousin Matt, who was my roommate, and I just got off the night shift at the grocery store. It was like 1 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And we were sitting down. We're, hey, let's just we're just watching find something on TV, and Donnie Darko was on. And so we figured, let's just watch that. And so we watched Donnie Darko at 1 o'clock in the morning. So I got over at like 3. And we were both so fucking freaked out. Like, we turned on all the lights in the house. I slept with my lights on. I stayed up until it was like daytime. And then I went to sleep. So that was like the last time I really remember being like truly creeped out by a movie.
Donnie
but when
Darko.
I was a kid,
like
I remember...
That's like the hipster horror movie.
I know, but like, I remember... I know it was like what's supposed to be scary, but I was pretty young when I first saw Predator. Yeah. And, like that kind of shit, I was like, yeah, But I think my as much as my dad let me watch like rated R Arnold Schwarzenegger movies and stuff like that, I feel like he shielded me from like the really scary shit.
Yeah. There are 5 movies that traumatized my childhood, Ryan. And maybe you can understand why I love things like it after I tell you these 5 movies. The first movie that terrified me was a movie called Them. It's a black and white movie made in like the 50s about giant mutated ants. And let me tell you something. What? An ant does not seem terrifying until it's 15 feet tall. And then it's terrifying. Them. I'm telling you, you're mocking me, but watch it. Them. 2 is John Carpenter's The Thing with Kurt Russell. Scared the hell out of me as a child. I think it came out in 83. I watched it when I was about 7. Bad move. That movie is terrifying. 3 is Jaws. Fuck that movie.
What? Okay, yeah. Jaws gave me like... I would be in the Columbia River in eastern Washington, and like some seaweed would touch me or something, and I would think there's a fucking shark in the middle of the fucking river that's going to eat me.
Jaws has just embedded into my memory and will forever be there, scaring the hell out of me. 4 is Aliens, right? Great movie now, but when I was a kid, the first part I watched on it, because it was on HBO, and I was at a friend's house and he turned it on, was the part when the little alien pops out, like, when she's like, kill me, blah. And I'm like, it came out in 86, so it came on HBO in 87, so I was 9. Ah! And I'm like, oh my god, this is horrifying. And then the same with you, Predator. Predator came on after Aliens, and we watched the 2 back to back, and I had nightmares for like 2 months straight of people ripping my spines out and then blowing out of my chest. So as you can see, the 5 scariest movies that I grew up with were all monster movies, which is just kindled. Like, I don't like horror movies like torture movies or Texas Chainsaw Massacre or Friday the 13th. Not big into those, but I love monster horror movies, man. You give me a good, give me The Blob, give me Them, give me The Thing, all those. I love them, man. They're great. They're my favorite ones. Like It, I cannot wait for it. It's gonna be amazing.
Monster movies are the best. I mean, who can go wrong with Godzilla and Kong? And
they tap into your primal fears of that there's something in the dark that's going to get you, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think they're pretty cool, and usually they have a little mix of sci-fi in them, which is always great. But anyway, if you guys got some, we'd love to hear what you guys' favorite scary horror movies, sci-fi horror movies, or any kind of horror movies that scared you when you were children. And let us know how big of a wish you think Ryan is. So, all right, moving on.
Hey.
What? I think that's a perfect way to end that segment.
Hey, now.
All right, moving on to From the Faithful 50. We put it out there, and we had some...
Oh, so I have a little complaint about the Faithful 50.
I don't know if we have time for your complaint, so make it quick.
Not so faithful when Ryan's back on the show. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I gotta say.
Listen,
and then
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know what
take out
you're
my.
complaining about. We
I'm
got
gonna
a
take
ton
out
of
my
questions
earbuds
on my
and
post.
No. This is the Brian segment now. I'm just gonna take out my earbuds and you can go ahead and talk.
Okay.
And,
For all of
and
you who don't know
answer
why
all your
Ryan is being
questions.
such a big Nancy is because Ryan posted this morning, as Ryan always does. So if you guys think I do everything on the show, you're only 90% right. Ryan, every Thursday, posts our question post. So if you don't like him, you know who to direct your hate mail to. But Ryan put it this morning and shared it on his own Facebook page as well as the Geek Dad Report Facebook page. We had one person, Brian, who commented on our Geek Dad Report page, and we had 0 people on Ryan's page. So Ryan tells me, well, I guess we don't have a lot of questions. And I say, what are you talking about? I shared it on my Facebook page, and literally everybody just lit up the comment section. So now Ryan is feeling like you, the Faithful 50, have moved on from the Brian and Ryan show and are fully on board with the super awesome, spectacular Brian solo show coming soon. Anyway, that's why Ryan's pouting big time over there. He's over there like Jon Snow, just brooding away.
I just need to find a cliff.
Don't jump. Don't do it.
I won't jump. I'll just stand and brood on it.
All right, well, whatever. Let's get to the questions, Ryan. Enough of your self-pity party you got thrown over there. God. All right, first up, Ryan from Washington wants to know, if you could only choose one food and one drink for your family to eat for an entire year, what would you pick? So this is a trick question because he said family, because I would say scotch. But damn it,
I was going to say like a good beer because I could get some carbohydrates out of it. And some arroz con pollo. That's one of my favorite dishes. Mexican food.
Well, there you go. I'm going to say water because if you didn't have water, you'd die.
Oh, let's be sensible. Whatever.
And 2, let's see.
I'm going to choose apples and water because apples are nutritious for you. I don't know. I'm picking water.
Well, I'm going to say water and chicken nuggets because that is the only thing my kids eat.
Mountain Dew, and chicken nuggets.
If you're going to say what I would choose for an entire year, I'm going to say ice cream and scotch because that's all I like to eat and drink.
You'd be dead in a week.
I don't think I'd make it a week. What are you talking about? I'd be dead in 2 days. But hey, it'd be a hell of a 2 days. All right, thanks, Brian, for your question. It was a good one.
I'm bloated from ice cream.
Bloated, and they just pounding the scotch. Oh god, your insides would just explode. It'd be like that volcano in junior high. Just foam and come out both ends. Just like, oh god. I'd still be shoveling ice cream though. I'd be like, I don't care, it's so good. Unlimited supply. Alright, moving on.
I missed that.
Good question, Brian. Thanks for the laugh. Perry from Washington, new to the show. First time question. Welcome to the show, Perry. He wants to know, will you guys be doing a Walking Dead special? I know Perry's watched our Game of Thrones specials, and I think he's wanting the same thing. So, Ryan, are we going to do a Walking Dead? Are we going to do like the Talking Dead, but a better segment than Chris Hardwick has?
Perry, we will answer your wishes and give you the show that you deserve.
We only require 2 things. We will do a Walking Dead special, but we would like a cool name for it because we just can't do everything. So if you guys can come up with a cool name for our segment, and 2, you have to share it in the comment sections of The Talking Dead. That's all we're asking.
Yeah. That's all we ask for. 2 easy things.
Our show should be called Talking Dead without Chris Hardwick.
But we take the same logo and then we just write in like black letter or white red letters out
to see how long it is before we get a cease and desist. That'd be great.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Barry, for your question. Let's see here. Philip wants to know from Washington. He wants to know, he's a giant Rocky fan. He thinks it's the best franchise ever. Nope, Star Wars, but whatever. It's your question. He loved Creed, but he wants to know why in the fuck is Ivan Drago going to be the bad guy? Why, damn it all to hell? He's referring to Creed 2. Ivan Drago is the villain.
It's really going to be just Ivan Drago?
See, I'd heard Ivan Drago was in it, but I didn't think it would actually be Ivan Drago versus the new Creed.
I might watch that.
I don't care. I'm going to watch it. As long as he says, I will break you like I broke your father.
If it's even half as good as the first Creed, it's going to be a good movie, because Creed blew way beyond my expectations of what I thought it was going to be.
You know what? As long as Ryan Coogler's coming back to direct, I'm in. Because Creed was, like Ryan said, absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Awesome movie.
Why? Honestly, Phil, because Ivan Drago makes money. When you say, we're doing Creed 2 and it's Ivan Drago, people are like, ooh. Mm-hmm. Except for you, apparently.
Ivan Drago.
Don't worry. Look on the bright side. It's either going to be really good or really bad. One of the two.
Yeah.
Thanks for your question, Phil. Jeff from Washington wants to know.
Oh, wait. Is this my Jeff?
I believe it's our Jeff now, okay? You need to just quit being so possessive. So, Jeff, Ryan's a little bitter that you posted your comment on not the Geek Dad Report page or Ryan's page, but on Ryan's page. I think it's a love of Superman, Ryan. Me and Jeff bonded while you were gone.
I know secrets, Jeff, about you that I could just start talking about right now, but I don't.
No, well, you know what, Ryan? This is what happens when you leave. I mean, me and the Faithful 50 bonded a lot. People got... I mean, since I've done the NFL show, I've done 2 solo episodes of both of that and the show. So people have had like 4 hours of just me. So we've made this connection that, you know, it's going to take a little while for people to let you back into our relationship, Ryan. I mean, you kind of abandoned us.
Yeah, I guess 4 hours of a podcast replaces 14 years of knowing somebody. But, you know,
well, sometimes
whatever.
I'm that fucking goddamn magical, Ryan. You know that.
Well, what does the trader have to ask?
It's not the trader. Jeff, you'll never be a trader to me. Remember that. Jeff wants to know, what was our dream car when we were a kid, and what is our dream car now?
What was the what?
He wanted to know what our dream car was when we were kids, and what our dream car is now that we're adults.
I had a fucking Lamborghini. One of those, like, Lamborghini posters that you can get.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's just fucking sweet ass. I say my dream car.
Countach, is that was the big one in the 80s?
No, which one? It was like the red one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I butchered the name, but I thought it was a Lamborghini. It's like the Lamborghini Countach.
Yeah, I could only just say the Lamborghini part. That was the only one I was sure on.
All right.
But for like my dream car now would be anything that's a self-driving car. I just want a self-driving. I just want to hop in and say, "Fucking take me to work, bitch," and my car go and drive me to work. That would be awesome. Or what about did you have a Lamborghini poster?
Hey, I was right. It's a Lamborghini Countach. Countach.
Wow, look at you.
Hang on, I'm going to show you the poster. Is this the poster that was on your wall?
Fuck yeah, it was.
Ha! Boom, nailed it. That's why you come to this show, people.
So, what about you, Brian?
What was my... So, when I was a kid, the car that I wanted was the 68 Shelby GT 500. I wanted Eleanor, and I still want Eleanor right now. I want that car. But it's like $300,000, and it probably gets 3 miles to the gallon. But yeah, the 1968 Shelby GT 500 is an amazing car. Everybody's seen Gone in 60 Seconds. You know which car I'm talking about. It's pretty much that car. That's where the Eleanor reference comes from. I would still love to have that car, but my dream car now is probably either a Tesla, because I got to get that like 500 mph, people. Miles per hour. MPGs.
Whatever it is.
I want someone else to put gas into, because that's awesome. Or Uber. Uber is my dream car. I like somebody else to drive me around, and I don't got to pay for anything.
But if you could have Uber, but it's like a Rolls Royce every time.
No, I'll take an Uber. I want an Uber. Listen, man, I'm much more like, I care about the environment. We got like class 15 hurricanes blowing away states at this point.
Every other week at this point.
Yeah, we're probably going to have like, I don't even know what's next. Tidal waves and volcanoes and fucking comets and shit. Well, I guess comets would have to do with global warming, but all I know is it's still like 100 degrees in Washington. The entire state's on fire. So, yeah. So I want to be a little more, a little friendly to the environment. So I'm going to say not a Prius because I freaking hate Priuses. But yeah, give me a Tesla. Or an Uber driver driving an electric car. That's what I want.
Sounds good. Thank you, Jeff.
Or a 68 Shelby with 3 miles to the gallon. I'll take that too. All right, and
or
last but not
the
least,
DeLorean.
we have David, who had actually a really fun question. So we're going to work our way through this. Not that everybody's question wasn't fun, so I don't want you guys to be like, my question is just as fun. It was. But David gave us a scenario that we're going to play through. And since we ran a little bit long, we'll play through a little bit faster than I originally anticipated. But David wants to know Hulk, Thor, Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, Iron Man, and Ant-Man in a battle royale. No rules. How does that play out?
Hulk breaks Ant-Man's armor, rendering him useless. Superman turns on Batman first because he knows how to beat him.
Well, Batman immediately dies because he has no superpowers, and outside of his own comic book, has no ability to fight anybody in this ring.
Yeah.
Let's make it really cool. Before Ant-Man dies, he
Yeah.
kills Batman by shrinking down, jumping into his chest, and then turning large size and explodes Batman from the inside. Sorry, Batman.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, if Batman doesn't have time to prepare, he's dead.
Alright, so Batman is the first one gone. Who's next?
Ant-Man.
Yeah, okay. After he explodes, who kills Ant-Man?
Superman, because he can just fucking see everything. Ant-Man can like shrink down. He's like, oh, I fucking see you right there. Laser.
So he tries to sneak up. Good call. Uses microscopic vision, then heat revisions. All right. So then who's next? Let's see. We got. I'm gonna say next up, Spider-Man goes to take on Iron Man. Spider-Man takes his webs and goes to sling Iron Man around, and then Hulk punches Iron Man while he's in mid-swing and explodes him into a million pieces.
Yes, because he's not wearing the special Hulkbuster armor.
Yeah, and when Iron Man gets killed, Thor loses it and shoots Spider-Man with lightning that hits the webbing and electrocutes Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Spider-Man's gone. So what we got left? We got Batman, Thor, and Hulk left.
Or Superman, Thor, and Hulk.
Oh, sorry, Superman, Thor, and Hulk. So I say that Thor and Hulk, because they are work buddies, team up to fight Superman.
But Superman's going to end up killing Thor.
But then Superman's Superman, so he immediately takes Thor and Hulk up into space and throws them into the sun, and then wins.
Yeah, but that just makes his Hulk angry, and then the Hulk eats the sun.
Pretty sure the Hulk would be defeated by Superman, I feel fairly. But Superman is unmatched. I mean, Superman is Superman, man. He would literally take Thor and Hulk like children in headlocks, and then go up to space and throw them into the sun, and then go back protecting the DC universe, which is way cooler than Marvel.
Just start banging everybody.
Well, that took a weird turn. All right, so anyway, I think we're both in agreement. Superman would win this battle royale fairly easily because he is basically a god.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Thanks for the question, David. As always, we appreciate all you guys' questions. Thanks for always showing up and participating. And, I don't know, maybe leave one on Ryan's next week. Or continue to leave them on mine if you guys want Ryan to cry every night like he's doing right now.
You guys want to just keep not giving me any attention?
Oh, shut up. All right, moving to our last segment before Ryan cries himself to sleep. Recommendations, what you should or shouldn't waste your time doing this week. So, let's see. We got 3 minutes or less to do everything left in the show, Ryan. So, would you like to tell me your recommendation real quickly?
My recommendation this week is to watch Outlander on Stars. My wife and I, during our 2 weeks of no internet, we just decided to start watching some of the stuff that we had purchased a long time ago and never got around to. And one of them was the first half of season 1 of Outlanders. It's a show about a lady that goes back in time She's from 1940s in World War II England. She goes back to the 1740s, which is like when England is still kind of fighting the Scottish. Obviously before the American Revolution. And it's a very interesting story about her trying to, adapt to living into the past. And it's a good show. It's if you need your booby quota, it definitely hits that. And I don't know.
A pretty brutal man-on-man butt rape scene in like season 2, by the way.
Oh, I have not. We're on season 1 right now.
Well, I'm sure you'll get to it.
But there's a lot of screwing on the show. A lot of people
nothing to do
having
in
sex.
16th century Scotland. Other than
God, but it's a good show. It's on Stars. It's season 3 just started last week, so you got time to get caught up. So that's my recommendation.
You had me at boobies. I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so check out Outlanders on Stars. I believe Stars actually just had a free weekend, so a lot of you might have actually checked it out. All right, my recommendation, I'll make it snappy, is Magnificent 7 is playing right now for free on Amazon Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, you can stream it. Stars Denzel Washington, Chris Pratt, amongst others, directed by Antoine Fuqua or something. I don't know. Same guy who did Training Day, which is why it has Ethan Hawke and Denzel Washington in this. Good movie. You know what? It's a remake of the Western that's a remake of the samurai movie. Not a lot to the story. It's pretty straightforward. 7 people go to help a town from a really bad guy, but it's a lot of fun. It's a good movie. It's a little long, but never felt it. Chris Pratt's great as kind of a gunslinger. Chris Pratt's great as a Western version of Star-Lord. And, Denzel...
That's the accurate... That's what I've been hearing. It's basically just Star-Lord in a Western.
Yeah, he's Star-Lord in a Western, a little more of a dick, but Denzel Washington is just always great. You could put him in literally anything and it's watchable. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a great movie. Maybe not. I don't know if it was worth seeing in theaters or not. I probably would have seen it, but it's definitely worth watching for free on Amazon. Check it out. Highly recommend it. I had a lot of fun. The whole family watched it. PG-13, so if you got not too young children, they could probably check it out. It's not overly violent. I mean, it's violent, but it's, bang, bang, dead. But, yeah, a lot of fun. Check it out. Magnificent 7 right now on Amazon Prime. All right, well, everybody, that is the show. Thank you for joining us. And before we get out of here, I'm sure Ryan would love to tell everybody where you can find us.
You can find us on Twitter at the Geek Dad Report. Brian is Brian West 53, and I am Big Bruiser. We are on YouTube at the Geek Dad Report, Facebook at the Geek Dad Report, iTunes, and Podhell Media. So go find us, give us a like, subscribe, leave a comment, give us 5 stars, give us all the stars, and just enjoy it.
Yeah, and honestly, and a little side note, I've started uploading a lot of these shows. Well, I upload every show now on Facebook as well as YouTube. If there's another platform you'd like to see me upload it to, maybe Twitter or any other thing that you guys use, let me know. Also, share away on Facebook. When you guys share our live videos, especially, the views take off. We see it directly related in the amount of follows. People, when they tend to see our videos and see what we do, they want to be part of it. So that is, if you really do want to help the show grow, that is the absolutely best way right now that you guys can, other than word of mouth, that you guys can absolutely help us out. Yeah. We're adding new content at all times. Do not forget to check out, we got the Geek Dad Report versus the NFL, our NFL weekly prediction show that has been getting massive amounts of good word of mouth, and people have been getting. I'm getting a ton of positive responses from people, so thank you like that. I might have a guest star or two on, like Ryan might join me from time to time. But we also have, like I said, we have our Game of Thrones recaps that we're going to do. We're going to do the finale here next week. We're going to start doing a Walking Dead show, and we're going to start doing a lot of other stuff. So we have a lot of content. Feel free to share away whatever you like, whatever you don't like, that's fine. But if you want to help us grow, that right now is the absolute best way you can do it. So.
And don't forget, Comics You Crave is going to be coming back. Crap-a-crap-tastic. We have a bunch of movies that we're going to start watching and reviewing. So we're going to try and give you guys more than enough bite-sized pieces.
And we are also open, if you guys have a segment that you think we'd kick ass at, like Perry recommended tonight doing the Walking Dead show, we are open to listening to any of it, and we got nothing but time. That's not true, but we will still make time for you guys. So
yes.
But anyway, thanks everybody for joining us. That is, like I said, the show, and we will see you guys next week for another episode of the Geek Dad Report with Ryan Tomlinson. Guest
Good
star.
to be back.
All right, later everybody. Stay awesome. Welcome to the Gun Show.